Hey everyone, it's Zach with Palantir Research. Very tumultuous day here for Palantir investors where we dropped below $14 into the $13 range, especially after seeing the initial after hours and pre-market hours reaction for Palantir hovering around that $16 range. So for me, it's just another day honestly, but on another sour note though for some, I wanted to cover a little bit on the insider selling that Palantir's management has been doing in the short term this week. For those who need to catch up though, I made a video yesterday on the main drivers of Palantir's price outside of market hours, which was Nvidia's earnings. So yeah, the price of the stock can drop and lose its gains like Nvidia did today, even though in my opinion, their earnings were amazing and blasted it out of the park to be honest. Now in the context of valuation, which is still separate from their financials per se, when the market has different sentiments and risk tolerance, that will always be a different story in accordance to their actual underlying business that I mentioned is thriving. And the market will determine what they deem is appropriate, if it's under, fairly, or overvalued, and that'll actually vary between different persons and different investors and entities to determine what value is that to them. So check that video out if you want more details, and I do give a warning in that video around the pre and after hours market pricing, and knowing always to take that with a grain of salt. No one will 100% ever know how a stock will react in the short term because you are playing with price, but also timing. If someone could, they wouldn't tell anyone and make a killing if they knew how to get those prices. I certainly wouldn't tell anyone, to be honest, if I had all that information. But either way, check out that video for details on my thoughts for Nvidia and on why Palantir was or is moving along Nvidia stock for a bit, even though I personally don't think it should, or at least not too much. Now, the insider selling. And I want to preface, I wasn't sure if I needed or wanted to do a video on this insider selling when I initially started seeing it earlier in the week. But for this week, we did get multiple days of it, so I feel like at least for being kept up to date as investors, you should know about it. This is where I'm always mixed as an investor and a person. So first, as a human and long-term investor, this is noise to me when it happens in the short term because there could be some expectations where leadership gets paid in shares and they would want to make some money. That's fair. It's natural, and any normal person would do the same level of selling at some point. And honestly, we've seen this kind of insider selling in all environments during run-ups, but also during stagnation and price drops. Now, they can't day trade their stock in a legally sound manner so easily and work off insider information, or we'd like to hope so. But they still have a feel for the company before anyone like us on the outside would have. So you just have to tell yourself people have their own financial situation. And for some of these folks, especially like Alex Karp and Shyam Sankar, they've been building a company for years. You should be able to reap some of the rewards there. You'll never really know though unless they tell you the reasons why. So now, as a selfish shareholder with running the company only in my own interest at all costs, of course I don't like to see insider selling, obviously, especially on management side, because A, it adds some sell pressure, of course, but B, it's a signal of going a step further from no action, but actually taking the action of selling instead of buying. So insider buying, and I'll preface, even though no one can time the market obviously perfectly, and issues with stock buyback programs also happening with inflated prices just to boost metrics is also bad. But outside of that, management never choosing to buy doesn't signal extra confidence to me, of course, when they talk so strongly about having the best products and the opportunity and business landscape right now, especially when it comes to artificial intelligence. Now, we know they've been awarded shares for their compensation and will be continued to do so. So they may never need or want to do that insider buying themselves because they're just going to get shares anyways, unless they're really super confident or need to show that vote of confidence. But it is something to think about as a shareholder. It's never a black and white issue, of course, and always getting mad about it is really not going to change anything for you about insider selling to the point of changing your thesis maybe, unless it's gross. Selling has happened for these folks, as you can see here from the disclosures. But just wanted to let you all know that's been going on, and it's good as a shareholder to understand what's happening. Doesn't change my own personal long-term outlook on Palantir and the confidence in their products as well as AIP, and I'm going to continue to monitor their performance on the financials over the years. But what do you think about this insider selling? I will not be surprised to see a mix of reactions here down in the comments, but let me know below. And thanks to everyone and my channel members for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.